Welcome to the Problematic Gazette with me, Dr. Lee Arnott.
And me, Dave Moore.
It's a little chance to catch up with your two favourite puffs of a certain age as we chunter on about all kinds of sundry, isn't it, darling?
Before we start, can I just apologise if there's any background noise today because we've got the tradespeople in.
Have you?
Yes.
What are they doing?
Well, there are three very nice young gentlemen out in the garden. We've got the landscapers in because we've had this patch of land in the back of our garden. It makes me sound like I live in a bloody mansion, but we've got a nice big garden. There was a little bit at the end that was always overgrown, and I was like on my hands and knees every summer digging it out, digging up all the nettles and stuff. And then we just thought, oh, fuck it, let's just splash out a little bit and get some people in just to do it properly. And actually, I keep looking out the window and it's looking brill. I can't believe it. And I have to obviously keep taking teas and coffees out for the gentlemen every so often.
It's a real shame you've chosen this time of year to get it done, though, because imagine if it had been the hot summer, darling.
What, you mean shirts off?
Shirts off, shorts on. Could get very sleepaway camp in that top corner.
I do feel sorry for them a little bit because it's been drizzling. It's that fine rain that soaks you right through. And I just imagine it's bloody miserable being out there. I don't think our neighbours are very happy with us because this big truck came to drop off stones and soil, and it had to get like the crane to like lift it over the garden fence into the driveway. And apparently, well, I went out to take the dogs out, but apparently it was there for half an hour and the neighbours were furious because they couldn't get in and out.
Well, suck it up, honestly. Half an hour out your whole life, honestly. I've got somebody in the kitchen sanding away its surfaces. My kitchen's having an upgrade. It's looking pretty good, actually. I was just impressed there when you were talking about your garden, about how much gardening terms can sound a bit rude. And you said you were on all fours digging it out every summer. It was like, oh, I've heard that before.
Put me back out.
That's age, love.
This is what happens when you've got the burden of staff, isn't it?
I know. The noblesse oblige, darling, is rich in you. I can tell. Happy All Souls Day.
So happy Arseholes Day.
Oh, I see what you did there. Happy All Souls Day, or All Saints Day, it used to be known. This is the day after Halloween. I just was discovering a little bit about pagan festivals and the Celtic roots of Halloween, actually. It used to be the old festival of Samhain. It was at the end of harvest, and they'd have a 3-day festival to say goodbye to the harvest and welcome, actually, the darkest point, because it's the midpoint between high summer and high winter. And obviously they'd leave food out because this was the time when the ghosts, there was a liminal space between the living and the dead. They'd leave food out, they'd light bonfires and wear costumes. And then, of course, the Catholic Church come along and say, right, bollocks to that. The day after, we're going to call it All Saints Day. Because, you know, the Catholic Church doesn't have enough saints' days throughout the year. So we're going to give all the saints their own special day on the 1st of November. So happy All Saints Day and happy Halloween for yesterday. Hope you had fun.
Yes, happy Halloween for yesterday and happy All Saints Day today.
How did you spend Halloween? Were you fending off feral children with treats, or did you have the lights switched off like we did?
No, well, I didn't put a pumpkin out, you see. That's the indicator, isn't it? That all children are welcome. And no, we don't bother.
We don't. Where I live, the children would expect nothing less than God knows what, something at least worth £10 every time they come around the door. So we're just like, nah, lights off, sit the other side of the house. There's no pumpkin. There's no cobwebs. So I spent the day having a delightful afternoon of watching Halloween 3. I watched Weapons, which is fantastic. And I watched Sleepaway Camp 2, which was great.
Yes, we've had a great response, haven't we, to our Sleepaway Camp episode that came out last Tuesday.
I think a lot of people have discovered Judy for themselves and have fallen in love with Judy just as much as we did. Yes. Be more Judy. Don't be more Judy, actually, because she's horrible.
Well, actually, you know, since we've done that, you know, if you talk about something, then you'll see it on Instagram. Big Brother is listening at all points. I've just got loads of this character from Sleepaway Camp, Judy, in my feed. What Judy's like then, the cult status of Judy, what Judy's like now, Judy running a marathon, all that kind of shizzle.
Wow. God love her. I've also noticed that you've sparked off a little debate online about the marbles, Marblegate, I'm calling it, because I don't know if you listened to our episode, you would have heard David espousing about how much his happy childhood was start playing marbles, to which I rejoined, were you in the 1950s? Now, someone's piled in on Insta saying, yeah, we had marbles and there was a clacky, there was a blinker blonk, there was a donkey donk like this, just all these different size marbles. It's like, Back off with the marbles, everybody. So we're throwing this open to all gazers out there. Did you play marbles at school, or were you top trumps like I was? And despite the fact that the Northeast is very much like the 1950s, I get the feeling that we were a bit more 80s in the 80s than you were in Yorkshire.
The colour green doesn't suit you, Dr. Lee. I can see that you're very envious of our marble playing antics in the 80s. You're just feeling a little bit left out. Now, we have had an Instagram message from Marie. She says, I can confirm marbles were a big thing when I was at primary school in the 80s. We had Kingsies, which were probably the equivalent of your Dobbers. Dobbers were the biggest marbles and the most coveted marbles that you could win off someone. So thank you, Marie, for that. So, gazers, it's over to you. Were you a top trumps child in the 80s, or were you a marbles child playing over a dirty grate in the playground? Please let us know, because the debate rumbles on. Forget Prince Andrew, forget Donald Trump. The main debate is marbles versus top trump. So please let us know.
Answers on a postcard, please. Send them to PG Manor, not PG Towers, because I ain't looking at them. Sad news this week. We lost the lovely Prunella Scales. We talked about in our Fawlty Towers episode how much of an icon Sybil Fawlty was, as well as obviously the fashions. That was totally down to Prunella Scales' performance, because she was fantastic. But what an illustrious career. Obviously, I loved her in Map and Lucia when she was Miss Mapped Geraldine Page to Lucia. She was fantastic.
And also, I didn't know this, but she was the first person to play a living reigning monarch on stage when she played Queen Elizabeth II in 1988 on stage in A Question of Attribution. And then it later got turned into a TV programme opposite Alan Bennett's Anthony Blunt of the Cambridge Spies fame. So yeah, she did that. And then I remember she was in Hobson's Choice back in the day with Charles Lawton, and then Howard's End as well. So, and, you know, really illustrious stage career as well. She was with the RSC for a while. The National Theatre. So known for Sybil, but we shouldn't forget everything else she did as well. What an illustrious career.
Yes, absolutely. Rest in peace, Prue. We love you. If you're a big fan at PG Towers.
Yes. Now, Dr. Lee, anything been happening in your world this week that you'd like to share with our gazers? Anything tickled your fancy?
Well, for me, there's only really been one news story this week, and that is Doctor Who is back next year and has been dropped by Disney, to which I can only say, thank God, actually, which I've discussed many times before. I think Disney were just too much money, not enough focus on characters and scripts, too much throwing all these special effects as an episode, which took, apparently each episode got a budget of 6 to 8 million Disney money, which actually isn't a lot in comparison with Mandalorian, for example. But I'm just very, very happy that Doctor Who is coming back, obviously. Russell T Davies is writing a Christmas special next year. I suspect it might be his last Doctor Who script. And hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, but there'll be a new broom coming in to give us a nice, fresh new take on the show, which I think would be long overdue. So, yeah, I'm really happy with it, actually. Very happy. Apparently, I was reading an article in Variety that Disney had been off the boil at Disney for a fair while, and they just kind of effectively given up on it. And there's a spin-off coming in December, The War Between the Land and the Sea, which was originally promoted as being that it was going to be next year. And then it just announced last week, the BBC is going to show it in December. And Disney have said, maybe we'll show it in February. And I was like, okay, here we go. There's clearly Disney have just lost interest in it. So, but good, fine. Let's have some old classic Doctor Who back, without millions and millions of pounds being spent on special effects.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need it. I mean, they probably think they need it to compete with everything else out there. But part of the charm of Doctor Who is that it is a little bit rickety. It's a little bit rough around the edges. And like you say, without a good script and without good characterization and without a good story, it doesn't matter how much you spend in post-production, no one's going to be interested if it's a shit story. So, yeah, and also, as a more amateur fan than you, I think it would be a good idea for somebody else just to take the reins, just take it by the scruff of the neck, give it a good shake, inject fresh ideas, fresh stories, and give it a bit of a regeneration.
Absolutely. And it's interesting you say, the effects and stuff. Some of the most best regarded stories of the last 2 years of the Disney era have been the low budget episodes, where there hasn't been a lot of money for special effects. It's been smaller character-led pieces. And that just speaks volumes. It doesn't matter how much money you throw at it. If the story's not good and the characters aren't interesting, it's bollocks, doesn't mean a thing. So we look forward to a new era of Doctor Who come 2027.
Okay, well, it's been a busy week for TV because next week brings two finales of two of the nation's best loved TV shows. Celebrity Traitors have been a big hit, and also Bake Off rumbles on. So Bake Off next week, it's the final. So we've got three people left. We've got Jasmine. Jasmine's a medical student from Scotland, and she's currently the favourite to win. We've got Aaron, who's been the king of flavour this year so far, fusing French patisserie with Caribbean flair. And then we've got Tom.
Posh boy.
He's had 2 Hollywood handshakes, been Star Baker twice, and has won a technical, but has had some rocky weeks where he's been in the running to be sent home. So, yeah, all eyes are on Jasmine at the moment, aren't they?
I mean, she's got the record now for winning the most Star Baker. She's won it 5 times, unless something terrible happens next week, I can't not see her winning overall. It would be ridiculous if either of the other two won, to be honest. Much as I like Aaron, much as I like Tom, I think it's been Jasmine's competition throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, it really has. And there is a school of thought that actually it's much better when it's kind of like a closer run thing rather than having one clear favourite emerge, because you kind of lose the jeopardy of it, don't you? But that being said, if there's a disaster, that they judge it on that episode alone, those bakes alone. So if she does have a massive disaster, then it could be anybody's game. But you just know, don't you, they're going to introduce a huge amount of jeopardy for Jasmine in the final. Even if there isn't any, she's like, oh, I've dropped an egg. Yes. Oh, disaster for Jasmine. She's dropped an egg.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, My souffle's not risen.
Yeah. They're just going to edit it to make it look like some terrible fate has befallen her. And then, oh, she's won at the end. Surprise, surprise. I've been much more enjoying Celebrity Traitors, I have to say. I can't believe, spoilers coming up if no one's seen the latest episode, I can't believe they killed Celia. The bastards.
Again, though, it was more opportunity rather than tactic, wasn't it? Because she was sat next to Alan and Alan had to do it. And it was either her or Joe Marler who was sat opposite him. And Joe Marler was just literally watching him like a hawk.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now they literally just drop in shots of Alan randomly looking flustered. Yeah. I'm sure he doesn't look like that all the time. They have to cherry pick them and slot them in where appropriate. But it does make for fantastic viewing.
And I love the fact that when at the end, they had the remaining finalists had to look at each other and say, I'm a faithful. He couldn't do it because he couldn't stop laughing. And it was like, and Joe Marler was like, come on. When are we going to actually see this for what it is? I think Alan and Kat have both been rumbled, actually, and that they're going to get kicked off by Nick, and possibly with David get kicked off as well. But it would be Nick and Joe at the end, at least, are my predictions.
Yeah. But you see, they make very definite statements. But by the time it comes to a banishment, they've changed their minds. So, I mean, it is just kind of pot luck. Unless Alan and Kat really put their foot in it, it's still anyone's game to play for.
It just shows you that even these people who had some level of celebrity and therefore had a kind of known quantity about them, even then, it's down to basically a popularity contest, isn't it? It's making a good impression at the start. It's being likable. It's not rocking the boat. It's not standing out too much. And that's what gets you through, basically, because no one's ever got a clue. No one's ever got a clue. And the thing about Traitors is what the format is great, but the Traitors have always got the upper hand because human nature is just a bit rubbish.
Human nature is a bit rubbish. It's like that pretty privilege thing. Or if you're humorous, or you're pretty, or you're amiable to people, and people naturally like you, they're less likely to think that you're capable of doing a bad thing. Yeah. Whereas someone who's, for want of a better word, ugly, is a little bit shy and reclusive and stuff, they're always regarded with suspicion. They might just be shy, Yeah, so yeah, it is a popularity game. And especially with the celebrities, when they come in with preconceived ideas of what that person's like, they keep saying Alan Carr is funny, so if he went all quiet and everything, then that would mean that he was a traitor. So what's Alan been doing? He's just been keeping up the presenter, being this jovial, humorous, witty character, and therefore people are like, well, Alan's just being normal, so it can't be him because he's really nice and he makes me laugh and he's funny.
Exactly. Hey ho, well, both two exciting things to look forward to next week. I'll tell you what else is exciting to look forward to next week, darling.
What's that, darling?
Our episode on Muriel's wedding. Hello.
It's a good one. We were really, really enthusiastic about Muriel's wedding because we just both loved it so much. Not going to give anything away, but I mean, what's not to love, basically?
Exactly. So get your hats on, get your bouquets ready, get your glasses of champagne ready, because we've got to make a toast to Muriel next Tuesday. It'll be dropping in your feed as usual.
I've just remembered why it was such a memorable, and we were both very exuberant, because we basically got pissed throughout the episode, didn't we? We're on the champers because it was a wedding. So we were well and truly lubricated by the time it came to the end of that episode.
We did. And as someone pointed out, when they've been watching us on YouTube, if we've had a drink, what they've really enjoyed is watching us get tiddly in real time. And apparently it's really easy to spot the moment the drink kicks in with the pair of us. Might be a flushed cheek or two, might be a slight of a word, might be a little windy pops or a hiccup, but the signs are there. So look forward to that, everybody.
Yeah, that's about the point where it gets really difficult to edit, because I have to edit out all the slurring.
You do a grand job.
Thank you, darling. It's award-winning.
Award-winning. All right, let's not do it anymore. Let's leave that behind. It's going to get very boring very soon. In about 6 months' time, people saying, he's still talking, where's your next award coming from? Then he's still going on about that one. So let's just leave it there. Oh, by the way, I keep getting emails from the Royal Albert Hall about our booking and our deposit. They're asking about it. I don't know what you want to do about
I've
that.
forgotten about that.
Yeah, I mean, they're threatening bailiffs here, so I don't know if you want to. I mean, we might have to sell some of PG Towers.
I'll put your address down, so it's fine. I'm all right up here in Hertfordshire.
They don't piss about the Royal Albert Hall, let me tell you. So we need to think on. Right, well, on that bombshell, I've got nothing else to say to you because you've ruined my credit rating.
It's all right. You can always come and live up here.
Are you sure?
We've got a box room with your name on it.
You've got an annex with my name on it once I've bricked up that internal door, love. Think on.
Shit. I'll get onto the Albert Hall. It'll all be fabulous, sweetie.
Thank you. Right, guys out there, gazers, lovely gazers. If you like what you hear, please like, follow and subscribe. Catch us on all our socials at Podcast Gaze on Instagram and TikTok, and email us at theproblematicgaze@gmail.com. So until Muriel's wedding, you're terrible, David.
You're terrible, Dr. Lee.
Au revoir. I can't do it in an Australian accent. Au reservoir. Oh, that's terrible. Difficult. Try a reservoir in an Australian accent. Au reservoir. Maybe that's it. Many apologies.
Have you been drinking?
Many apologies to our Australian listeners. So sorry.
Au reservoir.
All right, show off. See you later.
Bye.